Hey everybody, welcome to Thank You for Coming, right here on 2MB Studios. My name is Mike Carr. I am your host for this show, coming to you live from my house, because that's where all comedy is happening right now, from our own homes. So I know you're on your homes watching, so let us know in the chat if you're here. Say hello. Let us know how you're doing. It's a Sunday night. As always, Loaf the Wonder Bread, good to see you here. I'm glad to have you back as well. Hope you're having a good weekend. I hope you got out. If it's nice where you are, I hope you got outside. If it's cold where you are, I hope you stayed inside. And I hope that you're ready to have some fun. We have two amazing improvisers joining us today. I'm going to get to them in just a moment and bring them out so they can meet each other and start the show. If you're joining us for the first time, how the show works: our improvisers, Madi Goff and Julie Snyder, have never met before. They've never played together, but they're going to be coming on stage for the very first time and playing with each other in an improv scene virtually. So that's basically how the show works. But before we get to the show, I want to give a special shout out to our friends at 3weeks.courses. First of all, say hello there to King Senior 1. Hi, glad you're here. 3weeks.courses. I had an analogy for 3weeks.courses. I'm going to try to say it and make it sound positive. I know that Julie is going to have a problem with this because it uses the Titanic. So 3weeks.courses is an amazing opportunity. Learning something is very daunting. When you're thinking about learning something new, you look at this and you're like, oh, there's so much knowledge I have to learn. I don't have time to learn this. But think about the people who were driving the Titanic. They just saw the top of the iceberg and they were like, that's not much. I can do this. And they hit the iceberg and it was very tragic. You know what's not tragic? Knowing that there's more underneath the surface. And that's what 3weeks.courses is all about. You just get a sample, just the tip of the iceberg of something you're going to learn. You get that, and then you know that there's more iceberg beneath the surface. So take a class with 3weeks.courses and learn just a little bit, just to get you excited about learning more about the iceberg that is beneath the level of the ocean. It came to me like an hour ago, and I was like, I'm just going to do it. I don't know if it works. I don't know if it makes sense. But if it gets you thinking, what is 3weeks.courses and why is he connecting it to the Titanic, then you have to go to their website, 3weeks.courses, and find out. But if you're not sure what I'm talking about, which you might not be, it's a program that takes different topics and gives you 3 weeks of classes for it. So, for example, I took a class on script analysis and playwriting, and it was just an intro to 3 weeks of that. There is one of our instructors, Chloe Zweigert, is a personal trainer, and she does a 3 weeks class on how to just get started in moving your body and to stay healthy. Today they had a very special poetry reading, which had a lot of viewers. So people who went and viewed, you're getting the idea of what 3weeks.courses is all about. It's not like being on the Titanic going to the iceberg. I'm going to stop. And you get it. And if you don't get it, go to 3weeks.courses. I swear I'm not drunk. All right, I want to bring out my improvisers who are waiting backstage to come out first. Joining us all the way from the west coast of the United States, out in the Los Angeles area, please welcome Madi Goff.
Hello.
Hey, Madi, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm still kind of like processing the Titanic metaphor.
I feel like, Julie, I know Julie is a Titanic buff, and she's probably going to tear my analogy apart, and the two of you can do that together. It'll be fun. You'll get to meet doing that. So how are you? Other than that, how's life? How are things?
I mean, it's good. I live in LA, as you said, and we're all locked down, and I go outside, I put a mask on, I feel naked without a mask, and I talk friends on Zoom, drinks on Zoom. Is, I'm one of those people that I like that. I can do that. And I write a lot.
Writing a lot? Awesome. Very cool. And do you have anything fun you're writing, or is it just fun writing for work?
Yeah. Oh.
Anything you can share?
Yeah. Oh, I can't share one thing because it's produced, so it's shot. It's just in editing right now. There's a pilot I wrote that shot. It's currently being edited to be
very cool.
Be pitched for distribution, so it's not
excellent
picked up yet, but yeah, so that's cool. Yay.
Very cool. All right, well, your improvising partner is not only on the east coast of the house, she's literally 2 rooms away from me. This is it's Julie Snyder. This is my wife, Julie Snyder. Hello.
Hello.
Julie, I already know Julie, so let's get to know each other.
I feel like weirdly honored to improvise with Julie. Like, that feels very special.
Oh, I'm so excited to improvise with you. I caught like a glimpse of you when you were doing your check-in, and I saw sequins, and I was like immediately excited. Kind of like how excited they were driving the Titanic, Michael. Did
I say driving?
Yeah, you did.
Drive it. The turbines are turning in the engine room with the coal, and somebody's steering. They're driving.
Okay.
What is that term when you're driving a boat?
Oh, it's sailing. You're sailing a boat. That's one term for it.
I don't know.
I mean,
we're doing great.
What would you call it?
What would I what?
Driving a boat. What would you call driving a boat?
I mean, I think I don't know what the exact term is. I just know it's not driving.
I want to look this up.
Right.
Like somebody on Twitch.
I know that they'll say like full astern or half astern or port.
Like they do say that.
I'm legit.
I believe port is to the port's left, right? Port's to the left and starboard's to the right.
I think so.
The reason
stern is the back.
Is I've been in enough spaceship shows to have to learn this, and a pirate show, so I know my way around a boat.
Exploding Lobster is maybe piloting.
Oh, nice, Exploding Lobster.
Yeah, we're piloting the Titanic.
It would have sank a lot faster if you were driving it, Mike.
Raj Ailman says steering the Titanic. All right.
Oh,
the bottom line is steer yourself to 3-week stock courses.
I will say that the iceberg analogy was a solid analogy.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going somewhere. Yeah, it is steering a boat. Thank you. Thank you, Charlotte.
Hi, Charlotte. Oh, I know Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte.
I know
all these friends.
I know.
All these friends in the chat. This is wonderful.
Charlotte.
Charlotte has been doing a lot of work, a lot of stuff on the Zoom improv world. Charlotte's been all over it, which is awesome. I think you just completed a festival too. I think that just happened today. So congrats. Great. So let's get to know Madi and Julie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you each. I'm going to ask you each one question that you're both going to answer. Then I'm going to ask you each a different question. You'll each get two different. You're going to get icebreaker questions, so we get to know each other. We can have a little chat, and then you're each going to ask each other an icebreaker question. I said an iceberg question, and I don't regret it. So this first question, you're both going to answer. So the question is, and I'll start with you, Madi. If this icebreaker question is, if you had to eat just one meal every day for the rest of your life, what would that meal be?
Oh man, so difficult. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm going to say it's going to be, there's this place in LA. It's called Tara's Himalayan Cuisine. And it's in Venice, and it would be, and I would eat Tara's, and I would eat there, and I would get to say hi to Tara, and she always comes by. She's just her heart is so beautiful and open. So that's who I would go eat at Tara's every moment I could.
Excellent. We'll have to, if we ever can go to travel again, we'll have to go try that.
Right. RA Himalayan Cuisine, Tara's Himalayan Cuisine.
All right. Okay. All right, Julie, same question. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what meal would it be?
Mine would be a restaurant in Orlando called Tijuana Flats. It was actually started by some college students in Orlando, and I track time based on the last time I went there. Like I try and go not more than twice in 7 days. And by go, I mean order food because pandemic. But I do sort of track time and say, like, when was the last time we went to Tijuana Flats? Okay, that's what I want for food. I really like hot sauce and tacos.
Great.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. LA's got good tacos, right? I feel like LA has known for good tacos.
Let me just say, I'm from Texas, so yeah, nothing really compares, but LA has decent tacos.
I lived in San Antonio for about 1.5 years, and we had a place that we would go all the time. It didn't have a name. It was just a sign of like a pig being dropped into a boiling pot of water. So we just called it Pig in the Pot. And it was incredible. It was the best food I'd ever tasted. I would usually get the same thing, and my bill was never the same. Every time I went, it was like a different cost, but it was so good.
Where in San Antonio did you live?
I lived like right near SeaWorld, so I guess like on the north side, outside the inner loop and inside the outer loop.
The loop, okay. Nice. I went to Trinity, which is in same kind of. Yeah.
Oh, so, that part of town was beautiful. I remember, I think I saw like a play there once or twice.
What? Amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I love these little small world connections.
All right.
That happens. Yeah. All right. All right. So this one, Maddie, this question is for you. Okay. What fictional family would you be a member of? You could pick any fictional family. You could.
The Weasleys. I want to be a Weasley in a second. That's all. You know, my political leanings are different from the author of the book, but I want to be a Weasley.
We own that story now. It just dropped from the sky, and we took the lessons that we needed. Mm-hmm. And too bad, so sad to that woman.
Right. And yes, agreed, Julie. And by political leanings, I mean human rights. Have the kids see. But yeah, it is our story now. The Weasleys are ours, and I would be a Weasley in a second. God, don't they seem fun?
Oh. I love knowing, like, learning things about all of you, but also knowing that, like, when you said that, I could see Julie literally, like, every piece of energy in her body was like, oh, I love her. I could feel that energy coming from the other side of the house.
Yeah. Come down, Julie. Act cool.
Keep it cool.
All right, Julie, your question. That's a good question, too. I kind of want to give you the same one and just mess with my own theory. And I'm going to, because I can do whatever I want. What fictional family, Julie, would you be a part of? I just changed it. Whatever. What fictional family would you be a part of?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna change it up because we already had Harry Potter. I would be a part of the Baudelaire family from Lemony Snicket, because those kids figured it out, and they saved the world. They saved other kids. It's a fantastic series about kids being smarter and more empathetic than adults.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they got to travel. So
fantastic.
Yeah, I'm in for that.
Yeah. All right. So this is the portion where you get to ask each other a question, a getting to know you question. So, Maddie, if you have a question for Julie, fire away.
So, Julie, first though, sometimes I just like when questions come up, I just don't want to hold back. Can it be? Do you want it surface or do you want it like?
No, you can go deep.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
What is? Well, this is cliche, but I'm curious. What is your biggest fear in life? What do you think holds you back, if anything, fear-wise?
Oh man, I think probably my biggest fear is not like I want everybody to like me. It's I get really in my head and decide I'm like the worst person in the room.
Yeah.
I know that sounds horrible, but like I probably have the lowest opinion of myself than other people. And so like I'll get like in like a spiral and fixate on one thing that I said and be like, well, everybody does not like me because I was standing in a room of people and I said that I like cheese and they don't.
It's so relatable. And not the cheese part, but the spiral, the self everybody hates me spiral.
I saw it was like a tweet or an Instagram or something, and it was somebody just sort of acknowledging that they still think about things that they said in high school. And I'm like, yes, I absolutely do. And I do this horrible thing where I like trace that one thing and I'm like, was that the reason that this happened and that happened and this happened? And now I haven't talked to this person since high school. That's surely the only reason.
First of all, I was taking notes. And second of all, I need to know things, Julie, because I'm married to you, so I need to know what you're afraid of, so I can fight that fear, help you fight that fear. I did. I was that you were going to say spiders. I'm kidding. I knew you were going to say something beautiful. Spiders are my fear. But also, normally I've been kind of saying to people like, hey, we'll keep it surface. We don't need to go deep. I'm glad I didn't say that to the two of you because what the hell? Let's go for it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Julie, your question for Maddie.
I'm really glad that you clarified that we don't have to go service because I had a question and then I saw that note and I was like, oh, I have to think of a different one. My question for you, Maddie, is if you were to write your autobiography and release it like this week, and this is where you are in life and this is your story, what would the title of your autobiography be?
Oh, I tried, how to miss the mark, run really fast, and still have a smile on your face. Oh,
I love it.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah,
that's a really good title. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to think. I want to just like throw out who the foreword would be written by, and I think that it would be written by, wow. Well, if it was written by my brother, it would be like kind of like one word, or no, it'd be like, I'll know, okay, and then my brother. If it was written by my mom, it's a whole other book. So I'm gonna have it written somewhere in the middle by my dad, and it's gonna be a glowing review, and then you're gonna open the pages of the book, and you're gonna be like, wait,
this is mostly pictures.
Dad reviews, they're the best.
Yeah,
My kids' work is the best. That is a great question. I like that you also took it another level. Like, that's awesome. Like, who's writing the foreword, where it landed on the New York Times bestseller list.
What's
like
the typeset?
All these things you can add to it.
The typeset.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Mm-hmm.
Who the publisher was, and did you have issues with the publisher, and then you had to get a new publisher. Like, we could go down the rabbit hole of the history of the book, which would be super fun.
The nerdy part of me is like, ooh, who would I want to publish my autobiography? It would definitely be an imprint. It wouldn't be like the full HarperCollins. It would be like a smaller imprint.
I'm starting. That sent me, because I don't know publishers, but it sent me to like what sort of binding and what sort of cover and aesthetically, what's it like? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's an aesthetic that I think I would like it to be, and then an aesthetic that it would actually be.
I definitely, much like wine, I choose books by like the aesthetic on the cover, and I'll look at, like, I'm looking at these books that I have on my counter right now, and I'm like, I very much just like, it's an aesthetic. It's just like dark colors, silhouettes, people's backs.
Oh,
that's my aesthetic.
Is that indicative of like the stories that you like with like a little bit of darkness?
I think so. Yeah. I really gravitate towards historical fiction. Like women identifying centric. A lot of it's like World War II and like women spies and the women that were painting the radium dials, and just, yeah, I have a aesthetic.
Okay. There's so many things happening in my brain right now. I'm so excited to know this. We'll talk offline.
Absolutely.
All right. So I think it's time to improvise. So out in the Twitch chat, what I need from you now is give us a location where Maddie and Julie's scene can take place. Any location in the world, any place. It can be a room, it could be a mountain, whatever you want it to be. We just need a location. Your location, they will be in that location for about 5-10 minutes doing a scene. The scene will start with the line, "Thank you for coming." I will edit the scene, then we'll talk about it after. So we got some suggestions coming in, and honestly, I normally don't go with the first suggestion because I get a bunch, but this one just hit me really well. I love it. We're going to go to an eye doctor's office. So that's going to be where this scene takes place. So Maddie and Julie, I'm going to say goodbye to you for a moment. So now we're going to take you to an eye doctor's office.
Thank you for coming.
My sister was like, you have to go to Victoria's practice. So that was funny. She called it a practice.
We prefer small boutique practice, but We're big fans of Victoria.
Oh.
She's spoken very highly of you.
Oh, Victoria has?
Yes, she said oval, heart shape, neutrals, but should probably delve into patterns.
Oh, oh yeah. I bet she's trying to get me to do patterns. No patterns for me. I just want.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not a pattern. I think people who wear patterns kind of are more out there. So I want to be in here, or not in here, in here.
Sure. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
I'll say you can actually tell a lot about a person by their frames.
Oh, what did these say about me?
Oh my.
Oh,
How are you holding up from it? The frames. Tell your story.
I'm constantly afraid, Carla. Carla, I'm constantly afraid.
I can see that. Listen, Emily. It's on your chart. We prepare when we meet you. Emily, I want you to know it's not your fault.
Carla, that's kind of you to say, but I was the first one to strike a match.
Sure. And if we're talking about the metaphor of life, yes, absolutely. But specifically in the events, closer. The events of that fire on January 23rd at 7 p.m.
That tells you the time?
It does. If the eyes are the window to the soul, glasses are the magnifying glass. They're the telescope, the binoculars, if you will. They tell us everything.
Carla's 17 baby mice died in that fire. They were in a bucket in my living room, and I forgot about them. I was preparing everything to leave and just light the apartment on fire, but I forgot the bucket of 17 baby mice.
Hey, you forgot that bucket, but you remembered yourself. And you're standing here today. You're standing here today and you're getting new glasses. And you know what that means? Those glasses won't have a history. They'll only have a future.
So if I get rid of these and start anew, it'll be like wiping the slate clean. It'll be like those 17 baby mice never died.
It's like you've got that microfiber cloth that comes in the glasses case.
Yeah.
And that's your future.
No.
What is the future you want? What is the future you want for yourself?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh.
I have to say this.
Yeah.
I have been helping people identify the most flattering frames for their face for 15 years, and I have never felt a connection like I do to you. Can you see me?
I've never tried to read someone's frames before. I suppose I could try. I have a knack for clairvoyance, so retrospective clairvoyance. So let me give it a shot.
I've never let anyone in like this, but this feels right.
Yeah. All right. So I see your birth date is March 6th. Am I right? All right. You had a very shy pet koala named Scribble. Okay. I'm getting the hang of this. Okay, let me find the bigger story arc here.
Go deeper.
Okay. Congratulations. You don't know it yet, but you are about to receive a horse, a frame, not a real horse, but like a Trojan horse, but it's not Trojans in it. It's gonna be friendly. It's gonna be friendly pirates, and I know that you are a pirate fan. So wow,
that is so obscure and specific.
I just know, it's just I saw it in frames, so I don't know. I mean, if you don't want it, you could get rid of those frames, and the Trojan horse full of pirates will go to someone else. But
I want them. I want them. This is incredible. I've never met anyone else that's able to see me the way I see people, and I know you came in here for glasses, but I feel like I've gotten more out of this.
This may be a little much for me to say, and I don't want to presume a friendship where there might not be one. Professional relationship is maybe all we have, but would you like to go to?
Yes.
I'm not even wearing glasses, and you knew what I was going to say.
I mean, truthfully, anything that you asked me, I would say yes. I think I finally found that match. The case to my glasses, the little like connector string that keeps me together so that when I put them down, I know where they are.
Yes. Okay, will you be my maid of honor? I don't have a boyfriend or a fiance or a girlfriend or fiance or anything yet, but I just
put those glasses back on a sec.
Okay. Oh. How did you do this?
I have always wanted to be the maid of honor at a destination wedding.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I lost my mind. I lost my freaking mind.
Can we get Zenny Optical to sponsor us?
I must have
I know, we need to call them.
Oh, that is so funny. Is that what your glasses are right there from?
Yes.
Okay, that's these. That is so funny.
Yeah, these are like my blue light blockers, but then I've got like another. My distance ones are also by then.
That's hilarious.
They really do incredible work. Zenny Optical really does incredible work for all eyeglass wearers. If you have a need, Zenny Optical. Think of Zenny Optical as like, there's this much of Zenny Optical, but there's so much more beneath the surface. That's crazy. I love that you both pulled up Zenny at the same time. It was just so beautiful.
I lost my mind. Oh my God. Wow.
What a fun scene. What a fun scene. The idea, just so silly, but so grounded at the same time. Like we walked into the eye doctor or whatever you call this specific kind of boutique, a boutique practice. Yeah.
Practice.
And just by wearing glasses, you're able to see the person's future. Just I love that stuff.
That lit me up.
How did it feel for both of you? Yeah.
Yeah, that was
How'd it feel?
My brain originally went like, oh shoot, I don't know her, and I always have felt better in improv scenes when I know somebody, and then Julie gives us this beautiful gift of being able to know each other's complete life story arc, and I was like, oh, we're solid. That was so awesome. Oh, that lit me up. Yeah.
Well, it felt like the pieces were just falling into place. You know, you gave the gift of, we have a connection. I know your sister. Your sister's been here. So it already gave us that sort of established relationship, because of course your sister has talked to me about you, and she clearly talked to you about me to get you here. And so I love, you know, I love scenes where people already have a relationship, but I also love scenes where it's a professional relationship and we find the deeper level to that relationship.
Yeah. Agreed. And then, so I'm curious what went through your brain, Julie, when I was like building the congratulations. I was like, a couple things went through my head, and my brain always like, cliche, no, cliche, no. And so I was like, what? And so I just kept like taking left turns in my own brain.
I love that, because it was like, because to what Mike said, it was just so grounded. Like, it was like, yeah, absolutely. It is a horse, but it's a Trojan horse. And yes, there's pirates in it. Of course. Like, that to me in that moment was much more realistic than you're going to get a raise.
Right. Yes. Or a promotion or whatever. Yeah.
And watching it in the moment when you were like, I mean, someone else could get the pirates. I was like, no, that would be horrible. You have to get the pirates, Julie.
Everybody got really well invested.
Yeah, a Trojan horse full of pirates. That's an important thing that every human being needs in their life. Gosh.
You know that comedy sports game? There's like a game in comedy sports where you say like, it's football, but it's not, they're not playing it with a football. What are they playing it with? A laptop. Great. And they're not on a field. They're on something that you drink, you know, orange juice. Great. And then you have to figure that out. That's what I felt like my brain did. I was like, it's not a promotion. It's a horse, but it's not just a horse. It's a what? Trojan.
Oh gosh.
I first started doing improv at Nickelodeon Hotel. Like, we were doing a show for the kids, and so I was taught improv without being told that I was learning improv. It was very weird, but like as I think that like just level of playfulness has informed me so much in what I do, because it makes me be able to hear like, yes, 17 rats died, and be emotionally invested in that, of like, oh, but you lived, you made it.
I forgot about the rats
in the bucket.
I don't know. That's so
sad. I love that point you just made, Julia, but like speaking to, you know, silly choices, like especially learning with kids. Kids are like big, larger than life characters, and things happening around them. But like carrying over that commitment to like a more serious tone in improv scenes. Like I know, Maddie, the work you do with improv theater. I think when I went out there and did the intensive, I got to see an improvised Tennessee Williams play, and it was one of the most amazing pieces of theater I've seen. In one moment you're laughing at the improv, but at the next moment you're like, oh, they're so committed to the reality that's being created. Like, can you speak to that a little bit about the commitment that's necessary and how that carries through in an improv show like that?
Right. I think that improv, we look at ourselves as more of a theater company than anything. So we start out as actors. Everybody just happens to be good writers and directors and choreographers when we're doing Sondheim or whatever it is. So the commitment to story and to character and to the moment, and we just allow funny to show up if it does. And we're all comedians, so we know funny when we see it. And I think in a way too, also impro's like, that's here, leave space for it. Okay, and we're in the story, right? And you know, the funny is part of the story too. But I think the biggest thing, and that's what, you know, we teach at the school, is commit to character, commit to the moment, commit to the narrative, and the story will just, or the funny will just rise up when it's needed. But, and also my main thing is like finding heart in stories. So whenever I can find cheesy heart, I find it, and I bring it out. That's my favorite thing.
I'm so glad that I heard about the improvised Sondheim and Tennessee Williams after we did our scene, because I think if I had heard about that beforehand, I would have been so in my head of like, I'm going to say something wrong in the interview, and now Maddie hates me, and in 5 years I'll still be thinking about that one thing I said.
You haven't gotten over your fear yet, huh?
Wait, I have a question. Okay, Julie, so now knowing that, like, okay, what would be the wrong thing? What could you say? Like, the wrong thing?
I mean, any number of things that come out of my mouth could be the wrong thing. I often feel like I'm on like a different like just like enough of a like different social wavelength with people where like they're all ready to like be excited and I'm like I just want to chill and then it looks like I'm angry or vice versa. I'm like let's live our lives and everyone's like no Julie it's quiet time. She's so unaware what other people need.
I love that. Oh, that you know what that reminds me of? So I used to play I played basketball in college, and I would always do this like silence before the storm sort of thing, and like people be in the locker room like, yeah, let's go, let's murder. We never shouted murder, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
And I would always be just like silent and still and ready to play. And I always remember people like shaking me and wanting me to like, come on, you got to get amped up. And for me, I was always like, no, I think it's just people respond differently to different pressures and different situations and shaking somebody who wants to be quiet to make them loud or shaking somebody who's loud. Like, I don't know. I think it's you do you. That's
yeah. Imagine having the strength not to internalize that then. I mean, like, what did I do wrong?
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I want to play a scene with the two of you. So we're going to do a scene with the three of us. So in the Twitch chat, we're going to need another location. So throw a location out. Julie, do you have anything you want to promote right now or anything going on in your world other than this show?
Yeah, I mean, my main sort of, for me, creative endeavor is I have a Bookstagram account called bookstore_gal. And it's sort of a place where I have pushed a lot of the creative things I do, like when I would, back when the world was open and I would moderate panels at cons and when I would do acting roles. But it's also a place where I talk about the books that I like, and if I use a cookbook, I share the recipe from that, and I just promote things that I'm passionate about and companies that I really like, and I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of my book photos. So that's that.
That thing you just put up, Mike, is that Instagram? Is that Twitch? Is that which one did you just put
up?
That's Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna follow you on Instagram.
Yay!
Yeah.
And if you ever want book recommendations, just send me a DM.
I know this is like not, but I don't want to forget.
No, it's fine. And Maddie, do you have anything that you want to promote right now? And if the answer is no, that's fine. But if there's anything you're going on you want to share.
Oh my gosh, I totally do. I feel like, there you are, Julie. Okay, I'm not following Julie, y'all. Y'all should do it too. I do. Okay, so I can actually type this in the Twitch chat. I have a Patreon that I started. A character, Positive Mom, just typed in the chat. Positive Mom has shows there every once in a while. Oh, it may not let the link show up. I don't know if that's a thing. But you can go to Patreon and just type in Madi Goff, and you'll find me. And then I'm also on this coming Friday, this improvised medical drama that I'm in. I play Dr. Hannah Bryn. Premieres this coming Friday, I believe it's 6 Pacific, and it's through Ripley Improv. It's through our Twitch channel, and we already did the first half of season 1, and this is gonna be the second half of season 1. And there's a doctor who has like a metal rod through him, so we got to save him. And then I'm one of the interns, and all the interns just did like a open heart surgery called a septal myectomy all by ourselves in one of the episodes. So it's all improvised, and we all have recurring characters.
I'm living for this.
It's basically
yeah.
So yeah, and
that's what I wanted to hear.
Great. This Friday great. This Friday at, I believe it's 6 Pacific, but check the Ripley website for more info. And that's just
that one's on Twitch.
It'll be on Twitch. Yep, the Ripley Improv Twitch channel. So yeah, it'll be so fun.
Great. And Maddie, Charlotte also says that you have an improv class you're teaching that this reminded Charlotte to sign up for.
You're amazing. So I have a class through Impro that I'm teaching. It's just one of our first level classes it's not for brand new improvisers, but it's for improvisers new to impro who are improvisers. And it's called Physical Core. And it's just all about getting in your body and telling the story physically. And then another class at Bay Area Theater Sports called Agency and Improv. And it's about, and it's for everybody. And it's about, if you get into a scene that you're like, great, I'll just do the most kind of banal sort of, milquetoast version. But I get into a scene and somebody's like, hey, Mom, did you do the dishes? And I just want to be like, oh, gosh. I have a little bit to say about that. But if I'm like tired of being Mom who did the dishes, I can take agency in that moment and say, you know what? I need to get back to the Oval Office, but you can do your own. It's a little, spicy, but it's great. I think it's fun you can improvise at your best when you know you have the agency to tell the story that you want to tell. And that's what that class is all about. And it's through Bay Area Theater Sports. So you can look it up. I don't remember the times of either of those, but they're both really fun classes.
Cool. Yeah. So if you Google, go to Impro Theater and Bay Area Theater Sports, and you'll be able to check those out. Exactly. I can speak from personal experience. Impro theater classes are amazing. I did their summer intensive a couple of years back, and one of the best experiences I ever had. So definitely check out their classes. Great. All right. So we are going to go to a donut shop. So we have three of us in a donut shop. We don't have to say thank you for coming. We can just dive right in. So we will now go to a donut shop.
Todd, Francesca,
Amy.
What is it, Amy?
I'm sorry. I just we gotta shut it down. Okay, Todd. Okay, Francesca.
No, Amy, come on. I'm not shutting it down. I can't, Amy. I can't.
I'm not a shutter downerer. I'm an open upperer.
Francesca, would you stop putting extra ERs on the ends of words? I'm tired of it.
No, I told you I'm a doer, not a stopper.
I don't know what to say, Todd, Francesca. I feel like I'm not a part of this donut shop in the way that you had envisioned. And if you guys want my 33.333 repeating %, then maybe we should just talk about like a buyout or something.
This feels very sudden.
Really, Todd?
It does. It does to me. It feels sudden to me, Amy. It feels sudden.
I mean, if we're being honest.
And we are.
You haven't been pulling your weight. I mean, I've been the holding downerer this whole time. If we're being honest.
I became gluten-free a month ago. Neither of you have tried one of my gluten-free donuts that I put on the counter every morning. Neither of you pitch them to the customers. It's like we are a gluten wheel that is rolling at jet speed.
What do you want us to do? You can't reinvent the wheel that's already made. Taking gluten out of a donut, it's like taking blood out of my body. All right, and I won't sell that. I won't sell that.
Just look at the donut board. I mean, look at it. Okay. Look at the description of the gluten-filled donuts. They sound like pillowy bits of heaven. And then you have a column of just 2 gluten-free donuts. I mean, they might as well be described as cardboard. The lettering's not even the same.
Well, the lettering isn't the same, Francesca, because you wouldn't do it, okay? I had to get up there and do it. And we all know that I have issues with my handwriting.
Yeah, you do not. Your handwriting is very shaky.
Really terrible. I mean,
I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just we all know you have issues with handwriting.
We're just being honest.
It's because I did too much calligraphy class. There is a limit to the amount of calligraphy one can take. And as soon as you hit that limit, there is a hard plummet down.
Yeah. Okay? Why do you think Egypt failed?
It's exactly. If you looked at, they have erased the history of the calligraphy downfall of Egypt. If
it's calligraphized too much.
Exactly. On this point, we agree, Todd. What, Francesca?
I refuse to let this donut shop go the way of the pharaohs.
Okay. Okay.
I also don't want it. I don't want this to go. And Amy, when we've known each other since college, the three of us, we've known each other since college. We can't throw that away because of a lack of gluten in your donut choice. We can't throw that away.
Freshman year, when we soaked up our hangovers with the D-Hull donuts and coffee in our PJs, and we said we would open a donut shop. We did it.
We dropped out of college to open up that donut shop. We threw away our futures for this future.
I know, I remember. I remember, okay? The only thing is I just feel like, okay, look, I'm going to put all my cards on the table, okay? Francesca, Todd, I am not gluten-free. I've never been gluten-free. I just felt like when you two stopped dating, I felt like I wanted to put some sort of bigger riff in the room than the riff between the two of you. And I was like, gluten. Anti-gluten-ism, that'll do it. And look at you two have come together so beautifully over your distaste for gluten-free bakery items. And that's beautiful.
Amy, we don't Francesca and I, we don't think
I have a confession.
What?
Amy, Todd and I are unbroken up, but we didn't want to. Shut up, Todd.
We weren't going to tell her yet. We were going to wait till we were going to take you out to TGI Fridays and tell you there.
But they don't have a gluten-free menu yet, so we've been waiting.
So we didn't know where to take you.
No, I love TGI Fridays. Their chicken Alfredo is my favorite dish. I just haven't been able to eat it because I've been doing this faux gluten phase.
Well, we haven't been able to tell you that we're back together because of the gluten, because we didn't want you to be stressed out, and we didn't know if it was going to work again.
I know that when people get stress in their lives and they make commitments to things and then that stress happens, they drop the commitments. Like I didn't want you to, if you were truly gluten-free, to dive back into go on a gluten binge when you found out about us.
I mean, that's really kind of both of you, because that's, for people who are actually, gluten-free, it's like, it's really considerate, because if that was actually true about me, which is not, I would feel so, which I already do, loved by the two of you. God, this is just like one giant misunderstanding. What are we doing?
Get the eraser.
What? Are you?
But the spacing.
Give me the eraser.
You would erase it and then let Francesca write it?
Todd.
Francesca?
While you're there, go ahead and erase the heartbreak donut. We don't need that anymore either.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry that I ever had the idea of losing my 33.3 repeating % of this company. That's never what I wanted.
Well, good thing you weren't the math person.
Oh,
I want donuts so bad now.
Oh my God.
yeah, now I want donuts. Gluten-free or not, gluten-free donuts are delicious.
They are. I mean, they're like little cakes, right? They're like little gluten-free, delicious cakes.
Yeah. Awesome. Madi, Julie, thank you so much for being a part of the show. It was a blast to play with you both, but then also watching the two of you play was truly a joy. So much fun. Follow Bookstore Gal if you're not following it yet. Sign up for classes at Improv Theater and with Bay Area Theater Sports so you can take classes with Madi. And also watch, what was the name of your improvised medical drama?
Heartbeats. Heart.
Oh.
I'm so excited about this.
And one of the phrases is like, a broken heart still beats.
Oh.
So dumb.
That's so true.
I'll drop
As a Grey's Anatomy fan, I am very excited about this.
Early on in our relationship, Mike would like come in every whatever day after Grey's Anatomy was on and be like, "Hey,
Fridays. It was on Thursdays. We'd talk on Fridays."
He'd start talking to me about the episode, and I was like, "Listen, dude, I haven't watched that show since season 3. Like, you have to find someone else to talk about this with."
Like, I'm so far behind. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, but thankfully, I had a supportive group of friends who also watched Grey's Anatomy, so we would watch it together.
Do you have a favorite character? I just have to know. Oh God.
What's that?
Do you have a favorite character? I thought I just broke his brain. Do you have a favorite Grey's character?
Oh yeah, I gotta go with McSteamy. I loved his arc.
Yep.
I really liked the way he changed. I loved Little Gray. I loved Little Gray. And Arizona. I don't have a favorite. Like, I have a lot of favorites. And then Arizona. I loved Arizona too.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You're talking about so many of these people in past tense. I feel like I really don't need to watch now.
Well, the 3 that I mentioned definitely might not be around anymore with a variety of reasons. Well, one reason for 2 of them. Megan Donovan. Hi, Megan. Was just watching Grey's Anatomy before this. Awesome. So obviously we're going to start a Grey's Anatomy podcast, but right now we just have to say, because we do have to get going because there is a show starting at 8:00. That show right here, I'm trying to remember the name of that show. It's an improv show, super fun. Definitely check it out. Stick around on this channel. And also, again, thank you both so much for being here. It was a blast to watch you play. Next week, I got 2 brand new improvisers coming to join us. Glitty Litter. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. It was on the tip of my tongue, and I wrote it down, but it's not in the notebook in front of me. Rachel loved Glitty Litter. Definitely stick around and watch Glitty Litter. It's an amazing show. Super fun, talented improvisers doing some fun, silly things. Next week, I've got Whitney Hawkins joining us on the show, and she's going to be joined by a gentleman by the name of Sean Kelly, who I started my improv journey with back in college. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So come back next week. Madi, Julie, thank you for coming. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.